Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're going to do another read with me. We're going to read chapters 7 and 8 tonight. Might read a little bit more, not quite sure, just depends on the time. My son's in Taekwondo right now. But my mom, I don't have my Christian Standard Rainbow Bible with me right now, which I absolutely love that Bible. If you don't have one, you should go get one. They're color coded. They really breaks it down, really makes it simple, really explains to you what you're reading, you know. Absolutely love it. It's called the Christian Standard Bible, Rainbow Bible Edition. But I found this old Bible. Didn't find it. My mom gave it to me. It's my old Bible from 2004. It's a Bible. This is the first Bible that I read all the way through. You can see where I've highlighted many years ago. You know, just things that I thought was important and stuff like that. I actually prayed really hard with this Bible, and God actually gave me an encounter with this Bible in 7th grade, which is something I said in one of my other videos. But tonight we're going to read chapters 7 and 8. It might sound a little different because it is a different version of the Bible. It is the King James Version of the Holy Bible. So I'm going to try to also read a little slower tonight because someone told me that I spoke fast. And if I say any names wrong, I'm sorry, because like I said, I didn't live back then, so I can't really pronounce the names correctly, or I've never actually been taught how to pronounce the names correctly, so sorry about that in advance. So we are on chapter 7, and we're reading about Noah tonight. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee I have seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. And I'm just going to pause right there because a lot of people think that God took 2 of each kind of animal in, which technically he did, but they were clean and unclean. You get what I'm saying? So the ones that were clean, actually 7 went in instead of 2. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made I will destroy from off of the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of the waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wives and his sons' wives with him into the ark, because of the waters of the floods, of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went into unto Noah into the ark the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And the self-same day entered Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wives, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. They and every beast of his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, and every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah's ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they went in male and female as of flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. So literally every single kind of animal that you can think, find, imagine, crawls, creepeth, swims, flies, every single animal, male and female. And then God actually shut the ark's door. A lot of people probably think that Noah shut it himself, but he actually didn't. The Bible clearly says that he doesn't. And there was another video, I think it was, who was I watching on YouTube? Maybe Marcus Rogers, maybe On the Wall 88, I think that's the name of the channel, or either Chelsea Bedell, which is another channel. it literally, like, Noah literally could not open the ark of the, he couldn't open the door to the ark, whether he wanted to or not. Like, he couldn't. And one of those people said, well, he could just open the door. People planned that they could just get in the ark themselves. No, they couldn't. Like, God made that absolutely impossible. And you have to remember that, Noah warned a lot of people. And then when, it started raining and the flood started coming and all that stuff, that I'm sure they tried to get in and they couldn't. Okay. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. So the ark basically floated on top of all the water. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. So all the mountains, everything was covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl, and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. So, a lot of people, well, when I was younger, I used to think that, 40 days, 40 nights, and then 150 days. So, I came to the realization, I guess it was just because I was young that I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but it was 40 straight days that it rained, 40 straight nights that it rained, and then it stopped. The flood stopped raining, but the waters were still there on the land for like 150 days afterward. So now we're on chapter 8. And I'm trying to explain this in the best way that I know how to explain it, or what I got from it, so other people can tell me what they got from it and we can compare it, because each person, when they read the Bible, gets their own knowledge and wisdom from it. And every time you pick up the Bible, you learn something new. Like, you might catch something that you didn't catch the first time. So chapter 8. And God remembered Noah and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark, and God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. So it stopped raining. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month, and in the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark, and the dove came into him in the evening. And I'm going to pause right there because my daughter, I guess, woke up and is crying for a second. I might have to find her a pacifier. I will be right back. Want some milk? Want some milk? Want some milk? No? Want me to hold you? Here. Want to read with me? guys. Sorry about that. She woke up. You want to read with me? Anyways. And lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf, plucketh it off, so no one knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. What's the matter, baby? You want to read with me? You don't have a pacifier over here, baby. Okay, I think she stopped. So back to where we were. So no one knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 600th and the first year of the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spoke unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of the fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil, and from his youth, neither will I again smite any more living thing, as I have done, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and the day and the night shall not cease. And that was the end of chapter 8. So that basically explains the time frame, how long it took for the waters to dry up, how Noah sent out a dove a couple of times, with the olive thing. And then when the land was dry, he basically, said, open up the ark, everything can reproduce, multiply, repopulate the earth, basically. And then Noah built an altar and did a sacrifice to God. Then God's going to put in the next chapter a covenant between him and mankind, which is basically the rainbow, and we're going to read about that tomorrow.